All right, today we're going to do a little off-roading and talk about my first 6 months as a RadRover 6+ owner. But let's enjoy some of this trail first, and then we'll get to talking. I'm going to ride this and see if I can make it to a park called Santa Teresa County Park here in Santa Clara County. We'll see how it goes. It's a pretty warm day today. It's the mid-80s. So I kind of keep the speed up to keep that breeze blowing on you. Right now I'm riding in and out of trees, so there's shade, but I think according to the maps I saw, it does get into open area where it's exposed in direct sunlight. But I got my water with me and my phone with me to call my wife in case I get into some trouble. Hopefully not, but this is gonna be a fun ride. Okay, the first 6 months of owning the Rad. What kind of problems I ran into? Do I still like it? Would I get another? Let's talk about it. As I work my way up this fairly steep hill. Put in PAS 5, first gear. Make things a little more easy for me. Okay, so I got this bike back in mid-November. Got it on the Black Friday sale. Got it for $500 off. And on top of that, because I served in the military, they knocked another $50 off that, so I got it for $550 off, which was a deal to me, but I had to get the high step. The step through wasn't on the sale. The step through never seems to be on sale. So that tells me that's their more popular model. But anyways, so that would be my first regret, is not getting the step through, because the high step, it is pretty high. I showed you in a couple of videos ago how I had to get off the bike. I had to really lay it over just to get my my heel over this center bar right here. But let's talk about the problems I had or the issues. First problem I had, it was probably our second ride out. This little display right here broke. It still worked. It was the plastic mounting bracket on the back that just snapped. Don't know why. Maybe it was a defect that I never saw, because I remember I had a camera on the front and I just reached over and just bumped it a little with my arm and it flopped off. Turned it over and it was the plastic. This is made of plastic, this whole mounting thing, and it cracked and it snapped. But I did report it to Rad. I filled out their online form, took a picture, wrote up what happened, and I tell you what, by the end of the day, someone had already responded and already told me that it was covered under warranty, and I was already in the process of shipping me a new one. Now that was excellent customer service. And I hope that is company-wide and not just the person I got, so you guys can tell me about your customer experiences with Rad Power Bikes. But so far, mine has been good. Of course, that's been the only situation so far where I've had used customer service. But here we are. We are at Santa Teresa County Park. Let's go back down here and then ride around over there some. It wasn't as far as I thought, or as bad as I thought. Trail got a little bumpy back there, you saw. But what else? Okay, so something else that just happened recently on my front brake. I was out riding and all of a sudden the motor had no power. Everything was on. The displays were on. It just had no power. Had no pedal assist, had no throttle. So I stopped real quick and went on the internet. Fortunately, I had signal. Did a some quick troubleshooting. Found out some people had the same problem, and what it was the cutoff, the connection that cuts off the battery when you pull the brakes. It was, I guess, still being pushed, and I found the little adjusting screw in there, backed it out some, and voila, it's fixed. Haven't had a problem since. But if that ever happens to you and you find out it's your brake but you're out on the trail, just disconnect and then you'll probably be good. Just remember, that brake won't have a motor cutoff. Okay, so the other issue that I've just started having, which I think I might know what it is again in the front brake. It's making a lot of chattering noise. So my guess is that the brake pads are worn and they're a little loose in there. When I get going pretty good and it starts to vibrate, they kind of go back and forth like that, making a chattering noise. So I do have some brake pads on order, and once I get those installed, I'll let you know if that solved the problem. But other than that, I have not had any other problems with the RadRover 6 Plus. My wife has the steps through, and she hasn't had any issues. I have, I believe, almost 750 miles on it now. Still going strong, still on the same tires. I did modify it some. Add-ons, I shouldn't say modified it, modified the motor or anything like that. Just put on a taller handlebar. or the handlebar stem, put a taller one on so I could get my arms from down here to up here right now. So my arms are pretty level across now, and I like that. Might be a little too high though, so I might have to try dropping down just a little. But would I buy another Rad? Yeah, I would. I would like to try some other bikes though, see what they're like. But I have no issues at all with the RadRovers. And my wife she's just loving hers. She gets out on hers and just cruises and rocks out with her music going. No issues at all. So how about you guys? How many of you guys out there have Rads? RadRovers, RadRover 6 Pluses, RadRover 5s? Would you buy another Rad? Do you have any issues? It's been a great bike so far. But let's explore some of this park up here. So now let's talk about your selection of all the different types of e-bikes you have out there. Now, if you go onto Amazon and you put in the search term electric bike, e-bike, fat tire bike, you're going to get a lot of results. And you're going to get a lot of results from bike companies you never heard of before. Now, I would caution you, bumpy, to maybe stay away from those. You know, they seem to be pretty cheap. They claim to have basically the same types of specs that your more well-known e-bikes from e-bike companies have. But I don't want to say cookie cutter, but I'm sure they've tried to quickly reverse engineer some of the very popular brands to make a quick buck. Didn't do the research and development that some of the more well-known brands have done to develop their e-bikes. So these bikes are probably pretty questionable. Especially in the electronics. So my recommendation, I think I want to get over there. My recommendation would still be to go with the brand names, the more well-known names. They're gonna back their bikes up if you have problems. You know, some of their customer service may be a little hard to deal with, but they warranty their bikes, and they're not. Some of them may not put you through the ringer if you need to make a claim. While some of these so-called companies names that you have a hard time even pronouncing, you may never hear from them again. So it would be my recommendation that you go with the more well-known names. You know, Rad Power Bikes, Hemiway, Cyrusher, just to name a few, Magicycle, Juiced. They all make decent bikes. And most of them, well, I shouldn't say most of them, and they stand by their product. All right, it was just getting a little too rough to keep going this way, so I'm gonna head back down this way. But this type of off-roading is probably about as hard as you want to get on these cruisers that are touted as off-road bikes. They're definitely not the downhill mountain bikes where you just see these guys flying down the mountains at, 60 miles an hour, doing 50-foot jumps. This is definitely not like this. Think of these as more of a SUV, more of the slow, methodical off-roading. And now they're even making some e-bikes for that, the full suspension e-bikes, like the Deer from Magicycle and the Ranger or Trek from Rusher. Even Hemingway, they got the Cobras. That Cobra Pro is more like your bonsai downhill mountain bike. It'd be cool to try though. That thing has a 1,000-watt motor on it. But yeah, when you want to off-road, I wouldn't try more than what I'm doing right now, unless you really want to beat your bike into submission, then start replacing broken parts, and then just wearing down your bike too early. But this is fun off-road. It's still fun. I absolutely love it. And you got to know when to stand up so you don't jar your back. I've got a Sun Tour suspension seat post coming. I'm anxious to see how that would do on a trail like this. Some people say, oh, the fat tires, they absorb everything. Well, yeah, probably absorb more than your regular skinnier tire. But no, they can really give you some jolts to the back if you're not paying attention. But I still prefer them over the skinnier tires, especially when you get on the asphalt, and that just starts. You just start to hear that hum, that woo of the knobbies. I love that sound. All right, let's have some more little fun here. Can hear everything back behind me bouncing around. Yeah. Nice stream over to the left here. So after a ride like this, I do look over the bike. Look for anything that's loosened up, anything that might have moved. Anything that needs to be readjusted. And just so you know, if you can't see it, I am in pedal assist 5. I'm in 3rd gear to get through this stuff. Stand up here. Slow her down some. we are going to close out the video here. So I hope you enjoyed this ride. I enjoyed taking you with me, and I hope to see you on more rides. All right, I will see you on our next video. Have a great weekend, a great week, and a great upcoming Father's Day for all you fathers out there. Bye.